So, Virgo, today is the moon in your sign and gets highlighted by Capricorn, the sun in Capricorn. Two earth signs coming together, and of course they do get along, these two signs. One is the 10th house of social status, and Virgo is the 6th house of health. And so, as you see, you are turned into the left spinning cycle, which is the soul path. And here the Capricorn is looking at you and is challenging you to actually get up to the third eye. The star is in the lantern of Virgo. He's holding eternally that light of the sun, which is then of course the center of all the 12 zodiac signs and the center of our solar system. So the story is that here we can recognize that the keeper of taboo is challenging you or is pushing you to recognize your identity, to know your worth, who are you, right? And to liberate ourselves from the material world that holds us prisoner. But it's good. It's not devilish, right? For me, I created Nataraj Asana, the dancer pose in yoga. I don't want Capricorn to be a devil because it's the fertile moment. It's when we plant a seed and it can grow. And where is it growing? It's growing from all the way down here, up through the spine, into the third eye, and then there's the liberation. So I don't see it as something negative because these challenges are good. When we don't have these challenges, we don't grow. For Virgo, I did Tadasana, and you meet yourself past and future in the present moment. Here with Mercury above your head, the symbol of the horned god, the one that brings the information, the communication. Your court card is the Knight of Pentacles, and interesting enough, you go in two opposite directions. So on a physical plane, you are very much focused into the right spinning path, which is the human path, and I combine that with the 365 days the Earth spins around the Sun, and the soul path I combine with the Earth spinning around its axis for 25,800 years, and one cycle lasts 25,800 years. Then we divide it through the 12 zodiac signs, we get an age, and we are currently in the age of Pisces, which is opposite of you, my dear Virgo. In the Pisces month, you have your full moon, which is not in the next, but in the second next reading. So here you are very much fire and earth, recognizing the growth, right? The growth the seed does when I plant it deep down, and I can grow from this darkness out into the light. Connecting to the last reading where Sagittarius Sun was highlighting the Virgo Moon, be aware of your sorcerer side and surrender into the flow of life. So you had the sorcerer coming up, and of course the moon, which is opposite of your sign, and then the surrender, this beautiful creature here, the shapeshifters. So I think you sometimes can get quite dark and sometimes can get quite bright. You have these two sides inside of you. You have these two people. You have the future and you have the past, and you have the opportunity to bring yourself into the present moment. And of course now the influence to this reading here, I have 13 major arcana that I picked. It's always the first 4 and the last 4 are the same, and in the middle, depending where is the sun and where's the moon, I pick, of course, then accordingly the cards. I have listed everything below how the numbers and the cards are corresponding. So this is gonna influence the reading, right? And it's gonna give you the push. It's almost like it's saying, hey, I give you the light. Now find not just the light in your lantern, but be the light. And so we begin on the position of the Fool, which is a state of consciousness that is having this spiritual moment of an idea, the soul pushing you, nudging you to say, be the King of Cups. Be royally giving the love. The only thing worth giving is love. And so here you're challenged because you holding, of course, the coin in your hands. And now you are asked not to sit on a horse anymore and wait. Now you are on a throne and you are now connecting to love. And you can only give love if you have recognized that you love yourself. And so you can see how he is turning into the left spinning cycle. But the King of Cups is facing the right spinning cycle. And so go and act upon it. And that's where the next card comes in, the Magician. The Magician acts upon the idea of being love, of giving this royal cup, right? The Holy Grail. And on the position of the Magician comes the Tree of Life. And the Tree of Life, we can see here the roots, and up here then the heavens. And so here is the dark, here is the heaven. And the same thing now we can see with here. Here is the dark, and up we can grow into the heaven. And so this is the growth cycle, the natural growth cycle. If I put a seed into the earth, it must find its way up into the heaven, into the light. It cannot go any other way, right? Nevertheless, the soul comes literally from heaven, falling back down. The seed, once it has grown, the seed is falling back down. So the soul is the one, like the seed falling into the ground, and the human path is to grow back up. So this cycle is here through the Magician, and the Magician is the one that knows how to use all the tools because he has them on this table. One arm up pointing to heaven, one arm pointing down to earth, the roots and the branches and the trees, the crown of the tree. And he has the infinite symbol above his head because here we have the number 58. So there is an 8 in this number, and Scorpio is the 8th zodiac sign. So then the 5 is the Hierophant, is the spiritual test of infinity, and then calculated together becomes the 13, and 13 is the 1, the Magician, and the 3, the Empress, and then calculated together is the 4, that is the responsibility to be the Emperor, to be in combination of all these numbers and understand how complex nature can be. On the position of the High Priestess, you getting the 10 of coins, and the 10 of coins is powerful. It's a lot of money, and you can see here a triangle pointing up, one triangle pointing down, and then in the middle the heavens. So the earth, right, the material is wanting to grow up through the earth, through the material square, and then the heavens or the soul is wanting to come down. And so this card is literally letting you know you are ready to act upon your intuition and to make constantly this transition between seed growing into the heavens and the seed falling back down, so the cycle continues. It's infinite. And your intuition, you worked on it, and you are now in the 1 and the 0, which is then, of course, here again back to the 1, the love that you're recognizing within yourself to understand this message of bringing love, pure love, right? And then the 1 that here, the tree of life, that nature is very important. Nature is here to give us everything so that we can grow and evolve. On the position now of the Empress, very interesting, comes Scorpio, the Death card. So the Death card is letting you know that you are ready to transition and actually to go through a huge transformation emotionally and shift your state of consciousness through the Empress, because that's what this position is, right? The state of consciousness of giving birth to true abundance, an abundance that is not, that doesn't need work anymore, that is just there and is just giving you exactly the feeling and of all the knowledge of all, to know that you are that state of being abundance and you transition into it. And as you can see, he's facing the left spinning cycle and he's cutting off the heads, he's cutting off the hands, he's cutting off the feet. He's literally saying, okay, he's holding it actually in the wrong side, right? This is not how we would cut. It's the left side. And it's also the left hand that's giving the push into this direction. So there is a soul energy, because here, this is Scorpio and this is Scorpio in the major arcana. So there is, through death, a huge energy, through a huge liberation coming to you, a death of the old, a old you. Right? It's not really a death, because if the cards around it would be more negative, I would be like, okay, yeah, there is maybe a death coming to you, or someone maybe that you know dies, but it's not that. It's that you are recognizing the way you work, the way you are working in general. Also working with your intuition, right? Because this 10 of Pentacles is on the position of the Empress. And this is Mercury in Virgo. This is really connected with you. So you have a richness within you if you are connected to your spiritual path. And this is what the transformation is about. Let the spiritual path be more coming out of you. Really allow the spiritual to guide you and also to guide the material world, because then comes you, right? So you now walking into the right spinning path, and you recognize, okay, I have understood that I give love, that I'm supported by the tree of life, and that I have a lot of money on my hands to know that the intuition, to know that this state of consciousness is either I am rich or I'm not rich. It's a state of consciousness, the richness. It's not a richness in money. It's about you knowing yourself. It's about you really recognizing your self-worth. And that's what makes you rich. Then on your position, the position of the Hermit comes here. The star, the age of Aquarius. So each time when Aquarius comes up, either through a court card or through a major arcana or a minor arcana, I know that the age of Aquarius is speaking to us. And the star is the hope, and the star is a very beautiful card from Salvador Dali. She's the muse or she's the source. And I'm going to read to you out of this book of Salvador Dali. It's a very, really beautiful tarot, right? I have listed all the tarots that I'm using down below. So here comes the personal truth. Personal truth often seems to be like a distant star. It takes a long time to attain. But all our dreams are focused upon that star. Our personal truth is the fount of all our dreams. This source will never dry up. You only have to find it and, as the figure on the card shows, take it into your own hands and raise it up high. Hold in high esteem, cherish and venerate. Once the star lightens up your day as well as your night, then the truth will be revealed in all its beauty. Sometimes the card warns you of inappropriate brazenness or compromise. The great blue serpent in the sky represents the wonders of creation that you yourself experience. But the card also reminds you to be aware of the pitfalls of the star, namely the star cold. Be careful not to use your own light to put others in the shade. Be equally careful not to neglect your own light by becoming mesmerized by other distant stars. Pitchers and chalices represent emotional needs, desires, and fears. In this sense, so I'm just going to put this one here, right? Because he holds also a cup. Remember that. Pitchers and chalices represent emotional needs, desires, and fears. In this sense, the figure holds her emotional needs in her hands. We carry the vessel that we are. An old idea claims that man as a whole is but a vessel in the hands of God, a receptacle that is filled and emptied out during the course of a lifetime. This vessel symbolizes the individual's part in the great stream of life. Now, one more sentence here. Each life follows its own star, from Hermann Hesse. So, you have the need to really feel the love that is deep within you rising as a consciousness, as a foolish consciousness, a lot of people would say, but follow that. Follow always the love. The love is the one and only thing that in the end you never regret that you have followed it. And so here she's holding that cup. She's holding the cup, and you are recognizing that everything is here for you to support you, right? Everything grows and again falls down to support also all the money that you have. And even though you're transitioning sometimes and you feel that the soul is pushing you to the edge, almost like, you know, that the death could be around the corner. But nevertheless, now you get invited to really pour this love out and give it to the people, right? And recognize that she is literally this goddess. She is the source itself. When you give love, you are becoming the source yourself. And then on the position of the Wheel of Fortune comes here this beautiful card of the number 37, no rain today. The sun is here. She is covered with a cloud and she's looking over to the right spinning path, and it's the number 3, the Empress, right? So the transition here where you know that the number 13, and today is Friday the 13th, which is really interesting, right? So you have to understand that the 13 is not an unlucky number. It's a lucky number. And Friday the 13th is not an unlucky day. 13 is a very powerful number because it's the sun and the 12 zodiac signs. So here you are recognizing that you are with the sun. You are holding the star. The sun is a dwarf star. You are holding the star in your lantern. The star is coming on your position, saying, yes, the age of Aquarius, you are going to be a big player in that. You're going to be the one that is holding the lantern for the others. You're diligently there for others to give them and to make them understand what it means to be the light. And so then you turn over and you say, okay, now I'm going to go into the right spinning path. I'm going to go into the world. I have understood from my soul deep within that I can bring this light to the people. Because then comes the citrine. The citrine on the position of the hanged man, a state of consciousness that is giving you the understanding, hey, I am finally ready to look at this beautiful financial also connection here, because it's the expression of happiness. It's the luck itself, is the joy, right? The overwhelming joy that sometimes just emerges out of us by recognizing that you are now the source, by recognizing that you have this love to give. And through that, more money can come to you. So you have worked through your patterns and your wounds, and you have let go of the past, and now you are ready to use the path of healing and forgiving, and in that path you are just simply happy. And that happiness is then, of course, coming here with the next card, right? On the position of Capricorn comes then here the 10 of Cups. Then this connection here, right? She's looking in. She knows that the quiz of life, because this is the quiz of life, right? The real questions that we ask ourselves. It's Jupiter, the planet of luck. We are looking into the path, and we know that we are connected with the sun, or you are connected now with the sun, and you can really be the source because you have the star above you, and you can give. You can give as much as you can give, and then the happiness is coming into the 10 of Cups on the position of Capricorn. Capricorn is gonna like show you how it feels to be extremely happy, how it feels to just have family and friends together, right? Because this is Mars in Pisces. Mars is the warrior energy, is that who fights for love, and Pisces is opposite of you, right? Pisces is opposite of Virgo. So here you are recognizing that Pisces is letting you know family is always there. Enjoy this very much, and enjoy that you have found this deep, deep happiness in combination now with the citrine, which is a 1 and a 4. And the 1 is the tree of life. You have understood this card. And then the 4 is connecting with also this, the transformation your soul is pushing you into, right? And the 4 then in itself is the responsibility to take responsibility over your own happiness. Magically use your responsibility. And then comes a 10. So you have here a 10-10 portal with the 10 here. So you have 3 times the 10, recognizing that you are empowered, recognizing that you are stepping onto a next level, which is the 10. It's the 1 and the 0, right? It's the same. It's a new cycle, but on another level. And so you just recognize that. You just see that and feel that. Because then on the position of the Tower comes here the beaver. The beaver is hardworking, is there for the family, is loyal, and is doing whatever it takes to hold the family together. Sometimes maybe too much, so let go a little bit of that. You don't need to be there for everybody. But of course, since you have the King of Cups, you want to give that love, right? You want to give love, and you are giving love. So just recognize that you don't work too hard, that you don't do too much. And then on the position of the Moon comes here this lovely card. It's called Benefactor, Grace and Generosity, the number 3. So then you are, look at this, in this little mushroom, happy, enjoying yourself. It's almost like, yes, you work, but also find work-life balance, right? It's almost like the Moon is bringing out a desire in you, a desire to evolve, a desire to grow and to enjoy your life and to have fun, right? But not to the expense of anything, in the most natural way, as you can see these two. And yes, he looks a little, now you can see he is someone that, like, he works hard, but you also gotta now celebrate, and it's the number 3. And the 3 is, of course, connected with the Empress, and the 3 that we have here in the 37, right? And you need to understand that the 3 is always the transformation, which is in the 13, also the 3, the 1 and the 3. The 1 is the Magician, and the 3 is the Empress. So put the combination of these together. What do you get, right? You get a huge transformation because she gives birth to a new generation. The 3 is just a new one. And so the 1 is the magic, right? Is that oneness, is that godliness that is pushing on us. And then on the position of the Sun, look at this, comes here this goddess out of the water, the fluidity, right? The outer core, the number 12, the 1 and the 2. What is the 1 and the 2? Is the Magician and the High Priestess. What was on the position of the Magician? The Tree of Life. The deep understanding that everything comes and goes and grows. And here comes the 10 on the position of the High Priestess. And of course, the number 8, in a way, through the tree, right? Sometimes I see it as a crossed legs, but today I see it as an 8. I see it as the infinite circle of the 8 above the Magician, right here. So everything comes and goes and comes and goes. And here you come out, and it's a 3-3 portal with the 3 in here and with the 3 in the no rain today, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 3s. The heart, right? The heart is there at what you want to do, and you are enjoying now yourself, and you are, look at you, this beautiful goddess with this long hair. And it's very interesting. It reminds me a little bit. I have like this very, very long hair. And I decided to let it grow quite long. Not as long as this, right? But I would like to have quite long hair. So then on the position of the awakening, right, of the guardian angel that is calling you, comes this beautiful and lovely card. And you waking up to your dreams. And the dreams is Pisces. Here is Pisces, right? And the dreams is saying connect to your intuitive dream world of metaphors and symbols. The number 16, the 1 and the 6. 1 is the Magician, 6 is the lovers, the self-love, becomes the 7. And then it connects back to this 7, which becomes an 8. So here is an 8, right? And then here is an 8 in the 58, and the 8 as a symbol in the card. Here is the 8th zodiac sign. So you are wanting to give this love. And of course also here the 8th house of reincarnation. So you are reincarnating. You are wanting to really be clearly understood in how you function, and bring that to the people, that yes, you can transform yourself, and then in the dream bring this connection to the metaphors and the symbols, right? Using that as a guide, which I do all the time, right? And I had a dream last night, a very strong dream about my mother. My mother is a Pisces and I am a Virgo, right? And so here I am feeling that these two are just literally like inspiring me to such an extent that I know, yes, I want to continue. I want to continue to be the light. I want to continue to be this happiness. I want to bring beautiful things to the people, right? And I want to work not hard, but I want to work. I like my work, right? I like what I do. And then I also like to enjoy myself. And so the last card then on the position of the earth comes here, the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles makes then now out of 10 Pentacles 17, which is Saturn in Taurus, which is slow and diligent work, brings you onto the road, brings you further, right? And then again you have 17 coins, and you have the star, which is the number 17, which is then you are in the infinite loop of making money to such an extent that you know everything is okay. You don't have to worry, because money now, diligently and slowly, you working your way up again. So maybe you had a lot of money and it left, right? Maybe there was a huge shift where money had to leave you, so that you recognize the worth of money again, and that you recognize also that you are actually the source of love and all the happiness and the hope, that you are the light, that you are the star in the lantern. You're not just looking at it, you are it. And so now the work continues. It continues with love, right? Continuously seeing that the moon is supporting you because it's opposite of you, it's Pisces, is your guide, and you are continuously giving the love, because that's all we can do. In the end, we give love through the work that we do, and the message is then that everything will continue its path, because the 7 is again here with the 7 and this 7, right? And in this is a 7. Hold on, I'm going to put this here, so we're going to have it in its line, and a 7, right? So here you see very clearly that you have to follow your intuition, you have to follow your guts, you have to follow the love slowly and carefully, and just be yourself. Just show the people who you truly are. Wow. Such a beautiful message also for me, right? So of course I see way more pictures, but I don't want to put them in there because otherwise it just gets too much. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then the earth is spinning in such a way that we see behind the sun the constellation of Aquarius. Aquarius is here. So in the next reading you're going to get definitely a message for the age of Aquarius, right? And of course the age of Aquarius is right upon us, so it's a very important message for you to understand how you continue your work, right? How you continue to bring what you love to the people. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me, wishing you a happy new year 2023, which is a 7 as well. Namaste.